Hey, what's up everybody? It's the Classic Tycoon here, and we're back for some more Planet Coaster. Hope you guys have been enjoying the content here on the channel lately. I'm really loving this game, and I'm excited to keep playing through it. So, we're on the last section of the beginner parks here for the career mode. So we're going to be doing Pirate Cove today, and then we'll see going forward, what these parks are going to be like. I have no idea. I'm learning this game for the first time, so I'm excited. So let's jump in and start working on Pirate Cove here.
Oh, poor Peg-Leg Pete. This place had such potential. I don't think he's cut out for the theme park business.
Well, he's certainly cut out something, specifically about half of his financial records. If his ships had as many mysterious holes in them as his books, they'd be at the bottom of the ocean.
If only he could remember where he buried that treasure of his.
It'll take more than a handful of shiny doubloons to turn this wreck around.
So they mentioned buried treasure. I guess we'll see if we can find anything. I don't know if that was just like some joke that's supposed to be in there, or if there's actually some treasure. But let's take a look at what we've got going on here in the park. Rides, we only have one ride, but it looks like it's an incomplete coaster. At least the name of it is Incomplete Coaster. So, as far as the story of this park goes, whoever was running it before literally put no rides in there except for this. It looks like this incomplete coaster right here, which isn't even an incomplete coaster. It's literally just a station platform. So we'll have to do something with that later. I'm going to go ahead and just leave it here from now, and we're going to finish that coaster later, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a pretty good coaster this time around, I think. All right. So just taking a look around the park. I mean, not a lot to see here. Pretty similar to the other parks. The nice thing about this one is compared to the last park is that at least the guests don't have like a mile to walk to get into the park. We do have some shops here that are already made, so that's nice. They're already open, got prices and everything handled. And while we're on that, why don't we see what we've got as far as buildings. Yeah, I think all of our basics are covered here. We've got toilets and food and milkshakes, so we should be good there. Sequences. Okay, I don't know what those are really yet. I think it's just... Okay, here's our loan. $10,000 with 5% interest. One thing I like about the loans in this game is that when you make payments at the end of the month, it actually goes toward paying off the loan, as opposed to Roller Coaster Tycoon, where you literally just paid interest on the loan, and then you either paid off like $1,000 at a time or whatever. So as you make payments, it'll go towards the principal as well in the loans in this game. Okay. So we've got a little bit of money to work with here. And so let's take a look around at what we... Wait, what's this here? No, I think we found this treasure here. Playing around with the game before, I did notice these like golden treasure chests are worth quite a bit of money. So sold that, and we got 7,500 bucks out of it. So I don't know about these ones. I don't think that they do anything. But anyway, skipping forward, let's go ahead and pay off our loan right now. That way we're not paying any interest. And if we need to take out more money later to build the roller coaster, we will. But for now, let's just throw in some gentle rides or some thrill rides to get our goals going. We need to attract 600 guests and reach a monthly profit of $1,000 to pay out, or to get our easy star, our first star. And then we'll go from there. So I'm thinking we'll start with probably a carousel. The carousel I like in this game is that it's pretty small. So I was thinking we put it right here. Now, obviously, it's not really going to work with all this scenery here, so let's clean it up. We'll flatten up this space a little bit so that it looks a little bit more constructed. And we'll throw in this carousel to start. Simple enough, and it's open. So we'll, it does look a little bit ugly here, so I'm going to just throw in some foliage to hopefully, make it look a little less bare. But the nice thing about having the carousel right here is that the moment the guests come into the park, there it is. There's a ride that they can immediately get on, which is what I always like to do in my parks. I don't really want my guests to have to travel too far to get to the first thing that they want to do. So there's a little bit of foliage there. I think that helped spruce up the ride quite a bit. Yeah, let's keep moving forward with what we want to do next. As far as our staff goes, I was just checking to make sure we got some janitors since we do already have some food stalls and stuff. Looks like they're okay with their pay. They just need more to do. So as more guests come into the park, the janitors will have more to do because guests will finally start buying some food and stuff. It's probably guests aren't going to be buying food right off the bat. They're not hungry when they walk right into the park, is my guess. I'm not 100% sure on that. Here's our cash flow. So one of the problems is that we've got all these shops and stuff going right away. So it's going to take us a little while to build up some cash to compensate for how much money we're spending on keeping those facilities running, especially while we don't have very many guests in the park to actually make those facilities any profit. So we're literally just paying to have these shops run and not making any profit at the start. But it'll be worth it in the long run to have those already built. I'm not too worried about it. So we'll throw in this Cycola one right here. Just open it up, give guests some stuff to do. As you can see, there's a lot of people leaving our park. I'm sure that'll balance out as the park gets more interesting. But one thing that you can do in this game is raise the price of the park entrance, which is nice. Obviously, you could do that in Roller Coaster Tycoon, but a lot of times you couldn't do that and also have ride tickets. So we'll see how that affects guest thoughts, but when you need some quick cash, I think that's got to be the best way to do it. Every single guest is going to have to pay for that park entrance ticket. And then from there, you can make a little bit more money off of them from rides. So, I think that might be a good way at least to get going. And then later on, if we want to, we can lower or raise that park entrance price, depending on what we need. But I think that'll help out a lot with that goal. I mean, the goal here is not even park ratings at all, right? It's just to make money and to build rides. That's all that this park is asking for. So that's what we're going to do. All right, so we got our first few rides built here. I'm just going to throw in some bins around the park. They had a few already put in, but we're going to need a lot more if guests are going to be walking around this far. And so now we're starting to make a little bit of money. Obviously, we just spent a bunch of money as well getting all these rides going, but it will pay off in the long run. Our guest count is now at 530, so we're getting close to reaching that first goal. You can see it's really shooting up quick there. This month's profit as it goes up. Once it hits $1,000, we're gonna have that easy goal done, except for the 600 guests. So whatever comes first, really. We're getting close on both of them. Shop sales are really low still. Again, the park is brand new, so we'll see what happens with that.
Well,
And there we go.
quite
We just made it.
impressive. Now that the park's bringing in a decent monthly profit, you might just stop this place from running aground after all.
Oh, perhaps it's time to think about an exciting new coaster. You could make use of that station Pete built.
Alright, so our medium goal is to build a coaster and reach a monthly profit of $2,000. We don't really have enough money to build the roller coaster right now. And I know we just paid off our loan, but just looking at how much money we're making, if we wanted to just build this solely off of, $597 per month, I don't think it's gonna really work out. So let's go ahead and take out another loan. Part of the hard goal was to pay off the loan. I already did that. And if I take out this loan, I'm gonna lower that to as low as it can go. But I already got the check mark for paying off all my loan, or for paying off my loan. So it looks like it's not gonna take that away from me. But all right, here we go. We're gonna get into our first. This is like our first real roller coaster build in this game, because so far we've only built like little family roller coasters. But this one, I'm gonna go for it. I don't even know what type of roller coaster this is called. And I don't see a name on it right here, but we'll figure that out later. But from building this, I'd probably compare it to maybe in the looping roller coaster in Roller Coaster Tycoon, or maybe the corkscrew roller coaster. But the options that you have with coasters in this game, I mean, they're just so much more. So many more options that you have. Looks like I'm running into the edge of the park there. But we'll talk about it as we build this thing. One of my favorite things about building these roller coasters, I'll probably say that a lot, one of my favorite things, but like the auto tunneling, so you don't have to raise and lower land yourself. The game will do it for you, and it will look good as well. It'll look very natural. It's very smart that way. We're not going to make this thing too crazy long, but one of the things I have noticed about this game is the size of the coasters looks much larger than it does in the Roller Coaster Tycoon games, at least the first two. So I feel like I build a massive roller coaster here, but at the end of it, it's a fairly short ride. You'll see. But here I'm just building a loop, and I'm just kind of messing around with all these different looping options. Now you can build custom loops and inversions, but you can also throw in some of these pre-built ones. So I finally find the loop that I want here. I think we'll do this. Yeah, this to the. We'll do it to the left. You can see this. I noticed this little crevice here going through, and man, you can see. I think this coaster is going to have some real speed here, so I go a complete 45-degree angle there, and the guests will be right on their side. And then we'll go up through here. Here's where this auto tunneling comes in. I see this little opportunity to make a little cave here. It's a very, very short cave, but yeah, I mean, this type of thing is gonna increase my excitement rating, and probably my fear rating as well. We'll talk more about that stuff in a minute. But, the building feels very natural. to me in this game, for the most part. I mean, I've had to practice a little bit just in the sandbox mode to get used to building. But really, if you've built rides in Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 or 2, you know, this is a lot. It's a bit more advanced, but you can definitely get into it pretty quickly. So, looking at some of these helixes and stuff, these are non-inverted, I don't even know what you would call it, but just non-inverted sections that go kind of crazy, probably to build some excitement. And you can do these, I'm sure that they'll increase your excitement rating, but right here none of them really fit, so I'm just going to kind of figure something out on my own. And I end up really liking this like mini half loop type thing that I've done here. And again, like, just the coasters feel really thin and just very, I don't even know what to say, like dynamic. Like, just, you can do so much with the roller coasters. They really just fit anywhere. I'll be constantly comparing this game to Roller Coaster Tycoon, but Roller Coaster Tycoon, like, sometimes the roller coasters feel very fat. Oh yeah, this is another part of the roller coaster I like a lot. You can see this inversion that I do right here. I just do a barrel roll, a custom one, that goes into this this turn that's going to bring us back to the station right here. I really like that section. But the roller coasters in Roller Coaster Tycoon feel very fat sometimes. Like they don't fit in spots where you feel like they should. And that is something that I haven't really run into any problems at all with this game. Like, just as far as would this coaster's track fit in between, you know, this little section or something like that. And you'll see another example of it right here. Like, I want to fit this coaster down through this pre-made scenery here. And it took a little bit of maneuvering. I try a couple of different auto completes right here. Eventually I figure something out. But, you know, this one looks a little bit awkward. I think I adjust it a little bit. And then we'll adjust the chain lift speed, but now the coaster is done. So there it is. And I think it looks pretty good. So let's give it a test and see how it turns out. One thing I didn't get to do was block section it. If I was more concerned about this being like a long-term park, I would definitely fix that and put in a block section on it. But, you know, once this coaster is done, we're almost done with the park already. It's not like a multi-year goal or anything like most of the scenarios in Roller Coaster Tycoon. So let's check out this coaster, see how it tests. Alright, I'm going to go out of that cinematic camera and we'll just watch it here. So it's making all of this stuff fine. There's that little section that I said I kind of liked. And then coming up on the custom barrel roll here that goes into our turn. I like the smoothness of that. And this game just looks so smooth. I love it. Yeah, that coaster will work. Let's check out the rating. The prestige there is 5 stars, so that's good. That means a high ticket price. All right, so 7.88 excitement, 6.37 fear, and 4.16 nausea. I think those are pretty good ratings. As far as I've read, like a 7.88 would probably be closer to like an 8.5 or something, I think, in Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's kind of hard to say, but